Good listeners, and welcome to the Theater Vision podcast, Theater Vision, Discovering the Future in Bay Area Theater. I'm Nick Moore, and I'm your host, and today I have with me some representatives from a company that has made its home in a small theater called the Phoenix Theater on Mason Street. Today I have with me Rey Carolino, Federico Edwards, and Ted Speros from Ninjaz of Drama. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Federico Edwards. I'm the youngest among us from Ninjaz of Drama.
I'm Ted Speros, and Federico just lied to you. I'm the youngest among us.
Hi, I'm Rey Carolino. I am also with the Ninjaz of Drama, and I am timeless.
Oh my God.
Thank you guys all for being here. It's really exciting to have you guys here, mainly because Ninjaz of Drama is not your regular company. You're more of an acting group from what I've been able to tell. And I'd love if you guys could quickly explain what you guys are, since many of the listeners might not know who Ninjaz of Drama is.
Well, Ninjaz of Drama is exactly as you said it. We are an acting group rather than a theater company. I've tried doing that way back before, and it required a lot of work, a lot of paperwork, a lot of running around, and I knew where I wanted to perform, which was for small venues. And I just, over the years, we weren't even called the Ninjas back then. I started all this back in 2000. We were called something else. But I started back in 2000. I was doing small shows out of a very small venue called Shotwell Studios in the Mission District. I mean, that was it was like a shoebox, and with like 11 small tiny lights. But that's how it all birthed. And I knew that I didn't want to be a theater company. I just wanted to be a group per se. I wanted to be a collection of actors rather than, having to have a board of a theater board, where everybody had to sit and meet. No, I just wanted actors to come together to do plays, established or original, have fun, and put it on the stage. That's all I cared about. And over the years, it evolved until I started doing theater. Doing the same thing, but more fantastic, talented individuals like Ted Speros. And eventually, in 2007, him and another actor named Mark Hidsick, we decided to give it a new, cute name, Ninjaz of Drama. And it stuck. I think we were at a bar. I can't remember how it came along.
Yeah, it was a bar in Japantown, San Francisco.
Yes. But it stuck, though. It stuck. And a lot of people over the years asked me, well, but it's your board of directors. No, we're just a rogue theater clan. Mm-hmm. Well, clan is not a good word these days, but group, ensemble, conglomerate. We're very shadowy, and yet we're very fun in what we do.
Okay, so what is the purpose of this group and what makes it unique?
I'll be honest with you, one of the things, and sometimes it's a weakness, and that's is that often we bring people that really have thought about acting, haven't had a lot of chances to do it, and we give them a chance to do it. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's kind of a weakness. Well, that's kind of cruel, but there are occasions where someone is like, they just take a lot more work than some of the more experienced actors that deal with this thing. But that is the thing that I've noticed is it really does, it nurtures a lot of actors. And it gives them, even established actors, it gives them a different part, a different approach, different viewpoint towards theater. You had mentioned that our home was in the Phoenix, and I'd say the majority of the plays are done here, but I think our first production was done at the Exit Theater as well. So it's wherever we can get a shot somewhere in San Francisco. But again, the main thing I see is nurturing new talent and letting them try things that they thought they were maybe good at, and letting them see that, yeah, they are good at it.
And how does that make your productions unique, do you think?
Well, one of the ways is there's an eclectic class of acting, which is really because you'll see someone come in. We do a Shakespeare play, and one guy comes in and he says, "What ho, the filthy fa," and the person replies and says, "I don't know, it's 3." So it's it gives the shows an eclectic kind of a vibe to it, So it works.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, but it does.
Very nice.
I think to make it more simple than what Ted and I were actually trying to say over in the long run is that we weird and we like it. We do theater in a unique, strange way. I mean, there's no way to put it, but we are unique. We are strange. That is why I put the Z at the end of Ninjas instead of an S, because we're Z. We are otherworldly. To put it in a very terrestrial kind of point of view or something like that.
And you went on this a little bit, but how was the original acting group that Ninjaz of Drama came from? How was that founded?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Well, he had mentioned this, Mark Hiziak. What it was Ray had a troupe called the Rubber Match. That was the name of his little troupe, and he was 100% running this thing. It was all him. He produced it. If it was someone else's play, he got the rights to it. It was basically a one-man show, and he got tired of it, frankly, and so we went out for drinks in Japantown here in San Francisco, and he was saying, sometimes I need a little help, I need a little assistance, this, that, and the other, and myself and Ray and Mark Hitzchak, we decided, well, let's the 3 of us put something together. So that's really what it was. It was all 3 of us backed the first thing. We didn't take any pay ourselves, but we paid the other actors. They were the first thing we did was actually 3 one-act original plays by Rey Carolino, and we did it at the Exit Theater. It was, strangely enough, very successful, and that's pretty much that's how the whole thing started, and then just blossomed from there. Unfortunately, Mark is no longer with us. I mean, I don't mean he's passed away or dead or anything, but he just kind of disappeared. He found new goals in life, and he's gone on. But we never forget that he was there at the beginning. He was there at the genesis. So.
Another way that I can also try to, come make our definition more clear. What makes us unique? Ted has a rock background. The man is a rock musician.
Rock god, I think.
He is a rock god. And Mark Hitzig, he had a kind of like a jazz, kind of bluesy background. All I knew is that he knew how to play saxophone. And me, I like all kinds of kind of music and everything. And
including polkas.
Including polkas. So here we are, a bunch of local actors, Basically, what I see is that we're musicians, yet we're trying to do theater, but we're doing it from the kind of like a weird viewpoint of a musician without making it a musical. And it's kind of a weird mix, and it kind of sticks. Even now, when I do Shakespeare, I treat it as a musical theater project, because of all the actors that I've worked with in Shakespeare, I've noticed over the years that actors that have done a lot of musical theater, they really rock in Shakespeare. It really is a great translation. And I always go back to that point of music and trying to do theater, a weird mix. We're not even trying to make it a musical, but we're musicians in a way, Mm-hmm. I like that weird, unique, weird blending.
And another thing that surprises a lot of people if they read the original texts, particularly like he had mentioned Shakespeare. Shakespeare has a lot of songs in his shows, and ones that you wouldn't even think of. Othello has music in it. Mm-hmm. Twelfth Night has basically a whole show in it. And often they cut these songs out or they edit them down to 40 seconds or something. But when Ninjaz of Drama did their productions, they did the full-out song. So we're talking about, like a 3.5-minute song. Shakespeare wrote the lyrics. We wrote the original music. And it was great. Often I did it. But, I mean, lately you've had other contributors as well. And, yeah, it's really fascinating because you never think that. Othello has music. Yes, it does.
And another, to keep on with this growing definition, because Ted and I have never had to sit down like this and try to answer to an interviewer, what is a ninja? Oh my God. Well, I tell you, I think this man here, this wonderful gentleman, Federico Edwards, a wonderful actor. But even now he says, Ray, I'm not a Shakespearean actor, but you're so good at it. And that is representative of us. We just take these rock musicians or jazz musicians, we take these dancers here, learn this part, we'll work with you on the text. Sorry about that. We'll work with you on the text, and let's just do it, baby. And that's what Federico has doing for me since 2008. You know, I've known this gentleman for years, but we didn't actually start doing productions until 2008 when we did Medea.
Medea, right.
Yeah, we did a Greek tragedy,
Right.
and we did it weird, and we did it beautifully. We had a great time, although it's very sad and grotesque tragedy, but we made it rock, you know. So yeah.
When I think of Ninjaz of Drama, I just think of where it's come from what I saw. I wasn't here from the inception, but from when I saw it, it was a little baby. And to see where it's at now with all these fresh actors, with these fresh productions, fully on, all these new talents that are coming, you know, and the people you audition that are so wanting to do whatever the play is, all the fresh people you get that we follow on to different productions. That's what I love about it. I think of all the kids that we met that are now adults. So you know we're old, getting old, okay? And it's just wonderful. So it's a chance to tell people that fresh theater is out there, and especially if you want to get into theater, it's a wonderful thing.
And when I put together Hamlet, and last year I put together Lear, I got all these guys, these wonderful actors, and okay, this is who I am. I'm Rey Carolino. I told them about myself, right? I am not a Shakespearean guy. What I do is I surround myself with Shakespearean people, but at the same time I have my guys in there. You know, let's make this a motley bunch, make some music, and we did King Lear, and it was beautiful and tragic, and now we done Hamlet. You know, with an amazing actor.
And it was tragic and beautiful.
But it's even more interesting that
Yes.
your original work,
Right.
like those zany Nina and the Monsters and the Zombies of Doom and whatever those cockamamie
Yeah,
plays
we did
are,
a great show.
that you
did a great show
Those are the
called-
money
yes,
makers. The people love that. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but they love it.
And again, there's a lot of, that's another thing too, is Ray does a lot of Shakespeare. The Ninjas do a lot of Shakespeare. But Ray is also a playwright. And he's also a huge fan of old horror films
Yes.
and, you know, the old, you know, Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney Jr., werewolf, vampires, Frankenstein's monster stuff. So he writes a lot of plays that homage these.
Yeah.
And
Beauty and the Beast
yeah,
meets
Beauty
the
and
Zombies.
the Beast meets the Zombie. And again, the weird thing is, again, this utilizes music because there's one that is Nina and the Monsters that has about 6 songs in it. And it's not just we break out, I mean, the songs actually carry the show forward as well. And it's different eclectic styles because I wrote them all. Thank you. That's Ted Sparrow's San Francisco. And no, you know, it goes from blues to like gypsy homages and all that. And they're really funny. And for like Federico said, for some reason, people really like them. The shows sell out. It's interesting.
And so you're talking about like different projects. So what are some of the highlight projects you guys have done here?
Oh my gosh, we've done original works. We've done Tennessee Williams. Ted Sparrow's was Stanley Kowalski, and A Streetcar Named Desire. I've done. I produced a Christopher Fry play, The Lady's Not for Burning.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yes, yes, and it was directed by a teacher of mine, Jose Leva. That was wonderful. So yes, well, I love the classics whenever I get a chance to do it. And then there's the original plays, you know, and I do collaborate with other wonderful local San Francisco playwrights like Von Scott Barr. He's a wonderful playwright, and Larry Rico is another a local playwright too, and I want to collaborate with them more in the next years coming, you know. So established works, you know, modern classics, golden classics.
You've done almost every Shakespeare play.
Oh well.
I mean, what is there not to do yet?
Richard
I
III.
can't say
Yeah.
that, but
And another thing I'd like to point out too, we've been talking about the performers and the musicians and such, But there's also a point where, and Federico and myself have been given the opportunity as well, is directing.
Yes.
Yes.
Is Ray also, once he gets to trust you as an actor and he knows your instincts and this and the other, if it's, he offers also the chance to take one of his plays and you direct it, you mold it, and you do it your own way. And so we've done that a couple of times too. We're both Federico and myself.
That was a thrilling experience.
yeah.
I really loved that. That was better than acting. That really was. It was better than acting.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah,
okay?
I
You know?
loved it.
In fact, Federico directed me.
Yes, I did. Yeah, that's right.
Kudos.
You were okay.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so with that, what do you guys have in the future coming up for you guys? What are some upcoming projects?
well, we're done. We're through.
Lord knows what next year will bring. Like I said, we are a loosely knit actors. We don't all work off of a grant. I take whatever money that I break even from the previous show, and I just recycle it, and so that's how I do it. And I've done Indiegogo. I've done crowdfunding.
You almost swore there.
Yeah. So, I just keep doing what I'm doing. Like, I love Shakespeare and I love original plays. And the cast of Hamlet loved it so much they would love to do it again. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we will regroup for a summer 2018 show. And Lejesh would love to do it in Berkeley because in Berkeley they really love Shakespeare. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's what we have. Hopefully our summer next year will be taken care of. But as for winter and spring, I
Probably should do some original work so you can make some money.
Yeah, make some money, and also was hoping to do a Midsummer Night's Dream, make some money because I have always thought that would be a great holiday show. Mm-hmm.
And it's always a crowd pleaser. In fact,
it is a crowd
the
pleaser.
Ninjas have done it twice already.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
there's times of charm, and I think it's also
keep
a very
doing it till we get it right.
Right, it's a very misunderstood comedy too, and like Ted said, there are times of charm, So.
So with that, what are some of your current goals for the group?
Well, Ted and I were one of our because Ted is an amazing musician. He's a wonderful composer.
Rock God, I think we said that.
Rock God. We would love to do a musical, an original musical, if fate will keep throwing thunderbolts in his head, and music and words, and I'll just write the book and somehow make a play out of that. And these guys were talking about Nina and the Monsters, and basically I took a lot of the little fairy tale stories that I grew up with, and I made them my own. Beauty and the Beast, and I updated that, and it grew into something called Nina and the Monsters, and I'd like to expand more and more Nina and the Monsters with the homage to the old monster movies and put music in it, Mm-hmm. That's our grand ambition. I'd love to do more Tennessee Williams one of these days. I would love to do A Cat in a Hot Tin Roof. I would love to do more Greek tragedy with Mr. Edwards here.
I love Greek tragedy.
Yes, Agamemnon, Oedipus Rex.
I am a Greek tragedy.
I love Greek
Yes.
tragedy, yeah.
So those are pretty much our goals, and we all would love to see these goals happen. Yeah.
So with that, where do you see this company in the future?
Growing. I think is always growing. As I see it from when it started, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better. I think it's you have different races, different ages, people of all ethnicity, and it's just a wonderful place to be because you feel a certain comfort when you're with acting with the people. Because I find myself intimidated sometimes because acting is so good, and I find myself a good actor. So you can almost mentor somebody, yet you're growing and learning with other people.
I love actors. I also love nurturing actors and mentoring actors. There's a friend of mine, and he's a good dear friend of mine. His name is Danny Newland. Mm-hmm. He is now a filmmaker. And
Wasn't he the monster in one of the shows?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
but you look at him and you think he's a 280-pound tight end, you know. And I've always wanted to, hey, Dan, come, let's do some more plays, baby, you know. Oh, I don't have time, Ray, and I'm gonna make an actor out of you, yeah, Danny. Just give me time, okay? And he likes that, and that's what I would do with experienced actors like Ted and Fed. Fine, you guys are great, but give me the actor that I can make better into an actor by my place, by my direction,
Right.
you know? And at the same time, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant to come into contact with new actors like Lajesh Krishnan, who played Hamlet, and Geoffrey Colton. This is a career actor who did King Lear last year and did Polonius. So it's lovely doing theater with those guys too. But so I like working with actors that want to learn more to the career guys, you know. So yeah, and the Ninjaz of Drama, we're a revolving door of talent. Some people go on to have babies, they come back, hey Ray, I'll do some more theater, you know. Right. People just come back in and out. Some people we don't see anymore. That's fine. You go on to have their lives, you know. And we're always meeting new and wonderful people, you know. Musicians, dancers, writers, technicians, you know. The occasional lunatic.
Occasional.
That I have actually given a script. Here, learn this part, and I'll block you, and they do it. It's amazing when you can do that with people who's never done theater before, because 30 years ago somebody gave me the chance, and I want to be the same thing to somebody else that wanted to do theater too. You know. Yeah.
That's great. Do you guys have any final things you want to say?
I just want to say, support the arts.
Support the arts.
Come to the theater. We know it's expensive, but small theaters need your love and they need your care. And if there's anybody out there aspiring to be part of the theater, no matter how small it is, and you see Ninjaz of Drama having an audition, come by. I'm sure we'll give you a chance.
Okay, well, thank you guys all for being on the podcast.
Thank you, Nick.
It was really wonderful to have you guys. It's great to see a company like you guys in the current modern theater market. Thanks, everybody. That has been the Theater Vision podcast. And remember to stay relevant.